going to make a short film about our passage here. It's 170 miles, going to take us a couple of nights. We've left Great Keppel Island after hanging out with Footprint and Iron Will, and we've got all the sails up, doing 6.5 knots. It's quite hot, so I've turned the rain shelter into a bit of a shade. Just take you under and see what's happening with the crew. Okay, here we go. This is pretty well what happens on passage. People just lie around like this. So we're doing 2-hour watches in the day and 3-hour watches at night, and the kids might take half an hour. So it's my turn to be off watch. So I'm going to go down below and it's tidy, and get into this sea berth here. We've got lee cloths here to stop you falling out, and this is actually really comfy. Oh, here's Sylvie's bubs. She puts tethers on them sometimes so they don't fall overboard. Alright, good night. More later. Just got to get a shot of this. Look at that. 13 knots of wind, 8.2. That's not quite a personal record, but pretty good. Everyone's kicking back. I've slept for an hour and a half. Alyssa's cracked and let the kids watch the video. How's the helming going, darling? Working hard?
Yeah.
You're not really doing anything, are you? You're just sitting there, keeping an eye on things?
I'm watching everything.
Yeah.
I'm monitoring.
Yeah, you're monitoring. It's a beautiful day. Just magic. Something I like about passages is food. In fact, it's something I like about all sailing. You know, that feeling when you're bushwalking and it's been a hard day and you get in and even the crumbled up ginger nuts at the bottom of your pack sound, taste fantastic. That's every meal on the boat pretty well, but especially passages, because it's a bit of a highlight, otherwise not much going on. And I like messing with the sails too, especially in the dark at night when no one's around.
What food are you anticipating in the next 12 hours?
I'm hoping Woody's going to make jelly, pear jelly, pigs, ground up pig's trotter mixed with canned pears. And I'm going to make a gluten-free chocolate cake.
Yeah.
And then you'll probably feed us something healthy for dinner.
Corned beef.
Corned beef. Ah, some deep in the fridge. How long's that been there for?
Oh, at least half a year.
Yeah. Brilliant. Looking forward to it. This is Pandion boot camp. Go Remini. Sunset on the first day. What'd you guys see?
We just saw a whale.
Really?
Yeah, we just saw it do a big tail slap.
You think it was a humpback? It can't be.
It can't be. It was quite small. It was tiny.
Okay.
I reckon it was a piggy white.
Still good winds. Making tracks. No fish though.
Tried that and it worked.
Right. Here we are on the first evening making dinner. It's pumpkin soup. It's actually very calm. The stove is gimbaled, which is fantastic. I don't know if you can tell. It goes up and down. Even though the sea is really calm, I have to say that a nice wide stance is definitely required. Alright, so it's just gone dark. What are you up to, Rams?
Clipping in.
Clipping in. What does clipping in mean?
Tethering myself to the boat.
Okay. You clipped in, buddy? Yeah.
Ah.
Here's Silver. I don't know if you can see it. It's a
Safe
bit
as
dark.
a sausage.
Sausages are safe, aren't they?
Not the one that went
Everyone
down my
clips
pallet
in of
today.
an evening so that if no one goes overboard, because going overboard is as good as
Dead.
Thank you. Well, it's 1:30 in the morning and I'm just come off watch. Just putting the kettle on for Melissa. Woody's asleep, everyone's asleep.
I'm not.
Oh, Remini's awake. Just 10. We had to motor for a couple of hours, but we're back sailing now at 3 knots.
More than that.
Oh, more than that apparently. 3.8 knots. The wind is changing a lot, so we're kind of altering our plans as we go. And I'm going to bed. Red's go in the morning, sailor's warning. Although the weather forecast is actually pretty good. Just light winds. Here's Rems and Sylvie, they like to sleep in the cockpit. Clipped in all night. They had a pretty good sleep, I think. Alright, get some lines out for the day. The Dazzler. Let's hope it dazzles some tuna. Alright, off you go, fella. It's coming near the end of the second day. Everyone's a bit tired. It's been a very rolly day today. But we finally got the wind a bit off the beam, so we got a bit better of a sail angle. We're making chocolate cake. That's going to be exciting later on. People used to really like these ginger seasickness lollies, but now they've been associated with seasickness, so we've got a sort of a reverse Pavlov's dog situation going on. Well and truly up. The wind angle's changed, so I'm just going to clip in. These are our jack lines. We clip into these so that no one falls over. And I'm going to go forward and work on setting a pole up on this headsail to pole it out so we can run dead downwind. So I'll get into that. And hopefully that'll take us all the way to Urangan. Look at the colour of the water, just absolutely stunning. No fish though. There's the finished product. I don't know if you can see it, but we're wing and wing on the... Well, technically it's wing and wing and wing on the mizzen. Everything's spread out wide. Only 5 knots apparent, so barely enough to fill the sails. But it's pushing us along at 4 knots, and that'll do. We're waiting for another pulse this afternoon, and that should be a bit nicer. Let's go interview the crew. Hi, Remini.
Big question.
Okay, so tell us, what would you say to other kids about passages or adults? How is it for a 14-year-old girl?
Mostly pretty boring.
Really?
I usually just pick a spot and stay there for an entire day and an entire night and another entire day. This is my bed.
What other things do you do?
We watch movies and listen to TED Talks. Well, we actually never watch movies, but we did this time. And we listen to TED Talks, and we can't read or do schoolwork. Play guitar. And yeah. Watch for whales and dolphins. And the sunsets are pretty cool.
And what's hard?
What's hard is that it's rocky and you can't stretch your legs, and often you're seasick and very extremely bored.
You can see those ships out there. That's off Port of Gladstone. Getting a bit of swell now, so it's getting a bit rocky. There's a lot of them. Here you can see them on the AIS. That's the little triangles. Every one of those is a huge container ship at anchor.
And there's more up the creek.
And there's more up the creek. Anyway, our job is to not run into any of them.
We didn't catch a fish, but in this pot is our dinner. And that dinner is
Corned beef.
pressure cooked corned beef.
Passages like for you?
Boring and fun.
Boring and fun?
Good on you, kids.
It's so fun.
Where do you like to sleep, Bubby?
Here.
Yeah.
On the floor.
Why do you like to sleep up here?
Because I don't get seasick.
And it's
Sylvia likes to do craft. She's a bit of a whiz with sticky tape and stuff, and I think this may be one of her masterpieces. This is Flame. Flame's a spaceship, It's got a side opening door, and his spot, he's at the controls. Here are the controls, and then you can see there's passengers back inside there. Wow. See if he built an interstellar spaceship. Impressive. Making great time now. Oh. Be there in about 4 hours, I reckon.
From the end of the result of the mud cake.
How's the cake, Woody?
Delicious.
How was the cake?
Scrumptious.
Had a little taste before dessert. We just had a strike on the Dazzler, but no fish, unfortunately. A nice little cruise is going to get a little bit intense. I don't know if you can see this, but this southwesterly storm coming in over. We are in the process of hauling all the sails in and transforming ourselves into a some kind of fishing trawler, steaming for harbour. I actually think we're going to arrive just as the front hits, so our plan is to get close, and if we're not going to make it, turn around and head out to sea. But right now I'm fully battening down the hatches. We've got the paper charts out, the backup, everything. Brock's on standby on the land, and we'll see what happens. The towns it's gone through so far have hit 25 knots, so it's sort of not too bad really. Anyway, it's our first squall at sea, so it should be interesting. Skipper, what are passages like for you?
Well, there's big chunks of inactivity, but that's kind of nice in a way because you're forced to do nothing except to sit in a chair and listen to TED Talks or go below and sleep. And it's quite satisfying to have, you're going so slowly, but you do it for so long that you cover quite a lot of ground. I find that quite satisfying.
Yeah. Would you say we're moving at walking speed?
At the moment, we're moving 0.1 of a knot more than walking speed.
So it's a bit like walking from Bundaberg to Harvey Bay, just for fun.
Essentially we've walked from Cairns to Harvey Bay.
Right.
Actually, we walked all the way up there and now we're walking back.
Sometimes
we make a reasonable jog. For a period yesterday we were jogging, maybe even running.
Yeah, we sprinted once.
What are the night watches like for you?
I really like the night watches. I get to listen to music and it's really quiet and the stars are out, and I get a nice hot cup of tea and I get to think grand thoughts all by myself. Last night I struggled a bit because my eyes were drooping and I really wanted my watch to be over. I wanted to go and lie down and sleep. But yeah, I do like the peace and quiet.
Can I say something else? Can I say something else? Just about the stars, that they're really good because there's a lot of them and you can see them really clearly because there's no pollution, light pollution, like in a city. This is sailing vessel Pandion, over.
Sailing vessel.
Is the helmer, person driving the boat, gets to choose the music.
So I've got the radar on. You can't really see the storm front just yet, but we're starting to get the wind already. It's coming up to 20 knots. We worked out that we'd arrive in the Urangan Marina 15 minutes before the really heavy rain hit, and we decided that we would turn around and head back out into deep water. So, alas, our passage and this film was nearly over, but it's going to be a few more hours yet. Alright, so we're out in the sea. Yeah, it's backwinded now. Go neutral. It's coming 30 knots and we're just having a go at hoving to. So this is what happens after passages when we're in the marina. How you going, Buds?
Good.
Woody's stitching up the paddleboard bag. What are you doing, Rems?
Sanding and then repainting.
And what's this thing?
This is the lid of our gas locker.
Yeah, nice. Here's Silvo. She's polishing the stainless steel.